The views expressed are solely those of the individuals providing them and do not reflect the opinions of the Team Sock Passe podcasts or their respective affiliates or sponsors. This episode is sponsored by LS Cream, the perfect blend of spices and tradition inspired by Haitian cremas. Please drink responsibly.
Sock Passe, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Team Sock Passe podcast. It's gonna be a good one. My name is Glad,
and I'm your boy Rob. We are your favorite Team Sock Passe podcast show, where we interview great entrepreneurs from all sectors of industry. Remember, subscribe, share, comment below. Subscribe, share, comment below. Glad.
Oh man, if you're ready to get inspired, this is the episode for you. You ready to get chills? This is the episode for you. We met this brother last year at an event. Shout out to Storm Leroy. He was at the event and he tore down the crowd, sent chills, and inspired.
People crying.
Had people crying and
people
inspired
crying,
a lot of people. Inspired us too, and we were blessed to meet this brother. Got a great story he's going to share with us today. And there's going to be some things that we probably don't even know, but he's going to share with us today too. Yeah. Our brother, Mr. David Power Talk.
Oh, my brother.
We did it.
We did it finally, bro.
We did it finally.
It only took what?
A year?
Close to a year.
Yeah, it's like an anniversary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
It's okay, though.
Right.
I think it's perfect timing, though, man. And that's one thing I want to get in. It's like it's never our timing. It's God's timing. So anybody watching this right now, this episode is really, this is God's timing, because even in the where I'm at in my life right now, I did a episode on my YouTube channel. I said, "Are you ready for the interview?" And when I say, "Are you ready for the interview?" that means when you sit on this couch or anybody interview you, what have you done that you deserve to be on this couch? Like, what have you done to tell your story? What have you done to move the needle in your life? If you have not done enough, then maybe you got to get back to the drawing board. And I feel like the year just passed. We're gonna talk about it, but I really moved the needle a little bit.
That's what's up, man.
Wow.
Motivational speaker.
Yes.
How did you get into, like, what led you down this path? I want to know. We want to know your story,
right?
And you shared the pieces of this story, of your story, when we first met you at Storm Leroy, and it was just so inspirational of, you know, where you came from to where you are now,
right? And
just the story within itself is just impactful. You know what I mean? Share with the people your story, my brother.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. How I got into motivational speaking, it started with pain that I didn't know I had. And a lot of us, we have pain inside of us that we dealt with or we dealing with, but we don't know how to use it as our purpose. And I didn't know that until one day I got a phone call from a young lady that we went to college together. And she said, "Hey, we got career day. I would love for you to come and tell your story to the kids in Newark, New Jersey." Part of my story, we're going to get into that. I said, "Sure, I'll do that. No problem." So I go down to the school. I'm thinking it's just the classroom. It's the whole auditorium.
Wow.
So I walk in. I'm like, wow, right? Principal there, vice principal, teachers. They like, so I'm just like.
And you never talked before? You
never spoke to an audience ever before.
Wow.
But of course, I know that everybody's born with a gift. So I always was that guy that when I was with my guys, I'm gonna motivate. We're gonna do something. We're gonna figure this out. Like, we're gonna motivate each other. I never was that person to say, you know what, we can't figure this out. Right? So that's how I came up with Power Talk. You know, but because I always say, everybody like, "Man, you always trying to give me a power talk," you know? But yeah, man, I walked in and I spoke, right? I'm gonna be honest with you, it was not my best work. It wasn't. But it was light of showing me where I can go. Because this one kid came up to me at the end and he said, "Mister, I love what you said." He said, "I don't have my father in my life either. And I would love for you to be my big brother."
Wow. And how old were these kids?
They was 8th and 7th graders and 6th graders. And the young man that came up to me was in the 8th grade. And he said, "Can I have one of your t-shirts?" I said, "Sure." And the t-shirt I had was called Choices. And my speech was about, you're not a product of your environment, you're a product of your choices. And a lot of us are not making the right choices in life to be where we want to be. And when we grow up in our neighborhood, what do? We make sometimes bad choices for the right now moment. Let me sell the bag right now to get this. Let me steal the car right now to get this.
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification. And that's what we're seeing on Instagram right now. Everybody want the instant gratification. Everybody want the likes now. Everybody want the shares, the engagements now. But nobody want to do this work right here every other weekend. Edit it, put it out, promote it, go on tour at different. Well, I met you guys, and you down in Atlanta, then now you somewhere else, now you somewhere else. Nobody wants the process. So that's why I told the kids, I said, listen, if you're looking for the easy way out, you're gonna find the easy way in jail. So that's how I started with that, and it just like it gave me the bug. And as you can see, I like talking, right? So I branded myself, and I branded myself as David Power Talk. I didn't want to be known as David Solomon, the motivational speaker. I wanted to do something a little bit slightly different. Like you got your Les Brown, you got your Eric Thomas, you got your Tony, you got your Inky John. People are known mostly by just their name. But I wanted to brand myself with my brand. That when you hear it, it's like David Power Talk. Because I'm gonna give you a power talk. So, but it's from my soul. Like it's not nothing that me just coming out here and trying to put on a good show. That's why when I speak on stage, people can feel my energy, my passion, my pain. They can feel everything that's coming out my mouth because I really want to inspire somebody. Now to fast forward, as I branded myself, I was going through a rough time, and I was sitting in the audience at this conference, and it was actually Eric Thomas, Jeremy Anderson, I think Inky Johnson.
Wow.
Another speaker, like the powerhouses, right? The GOATs. I mean, you think about that, right?
Inky.
And I wasn't even serious about the speaking yet. And I'm sitting there and I'm going through this rough time. And when they were speaking, it felt like they just gave me 3 shots of Red Bull. But also too, they gave me hope. They gave me direction. They gave me vision. And I said to and all from their unique life story. And I'm saying to myself, my story is so deep. I know I want to give somebody that same inspiration, that same motivation. I want you to look at me and say, I don't look like what I've been through. I don't look like what I'm going through. But however, if I can tell you my story and I can help save your life, my job is done at this particular engagement. You see what I'm saying? So that's what really you know what? All right, let's go with Power Talk. So what I did was, like anybody, you watching this episode right now, the first thing I'm gonna tell you right now, whatever you want to do in life, we in the era right now, you gotta get a coach. You gotta get a mentor. My first mentor was the same man that was on the stage looking at me, inspiring me. He didn't even know me. Didn't know who I was. I was in VIP front row. Tie on, little vest on. Eric Thomas. I joined this program, speaker program called Game Changers. Got certified as a motivational speaker. And I remember this like night and day. Because I was speaking just a little bit already at schools. So before I go in person to speak in front of them, they have a Zoom call with all the other speakers. And you got to speak for like 3 minutes, called a rep call. So they going around, and one of my friends that I met at another conference, he was in the program too. Shout out to Dream Motivate. He actually inspired me to upgrade from their mid-ticket to their high-ticket program, which was game changer at the time. So they come to me, they say, okay, David Power Talk, let me hear you speak. So I go, I'm on a Zoom call. I just start speaking. And one of their coaches, she said to me, after I finished in front of everybody, it's the first time anybody ever heard me spoke. She was like, that was corny.
Wow.
In front of everybody. Oof. She said, don't you ever, if somebody tell you to speak, you bring me your best work. That's the best thing that ever happened to me. It brought the lion out of me. Because I knew I was better than that, but I took the opportunity for granted. How many times in life you have an opportunity, but you take it for granted? No, think about it.
It's
Because
true.
you're looking at it as a small opportunity, but you don't realize who's watching you. Like, I never knew you guys was in the room. Like, when I first spoke, I didn't know who was there.
Right.
I'm going to go into that story a little bit too, but I took the opportunity for granted. So I said, never again. So now, 4 weeks later, I got to speak in person in front of the same coaches and Eric Thomas and all of them, right? They sitting on chairs watching you speak. They had me last for the whole day. So it's like
Wow.
American Idol, right? You walk up, you walk up on stage, you speak, all the students is in the room, and you got to speak. And after you speak, they bring you back on stage. They ask you, how did you do? Okay, what you think you can improve on? And then they just rip you down. Like, all right, nope, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Then all right, okay, we'll work on that. So I'm last for the whole day. So they're like, all right, coming out, David, Power Talk. Came out there, laced it. I went out there. After I finished, it was like, I remember CJ, that's Eric Thomas, right-hand man, his manager. CJ, like, he's like Simon on American Idol.
Okay.
He don't care. He gonna rip you apart.
And
And he was like, man, you got the gift, kid. So the same girl that told me I was corny, she went to him. That's all you gonna say? You ain't gonna say nothing else? Like, she wanted him to say something else.
Right.
He's like, okay, I'll say something else, man. All right, I want you to work on this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But imagine the man that actually managed the #1 speaker of the world tell you that you got the gift.
That's big.
That's like LeBron coach telling somebody new in the NBA, nah, you nice. Like, you gonna be, you it. All I gotta do is just polish you up. Which happens with a lot of NBA players. Think about the NBA player that came in the same time with LeBron. I think he's from New York. Like, they was comparing them, right? And he thought he was nicer than LeBron. But LeBron went here, he stayed here. Because discipline, sacrifice, dedication, being consistent. Like, people think it's all about basketball when you're trying to be a top athlete. It ain't got nothing to do with it. Look at LeBron. He's a family man. He's a husband. He's a leader in the community. It comes with all these things, and you got to sacrifice, not do the things that everybody else is doing in the league to be the top basketball player. Because if you're going out trying to hang out, do all these different things, LeBron I heard he spent like $2 million or $3 million or $1 million on his body a year just to stay healthy.
I heard that. Yeah.
But then you got other athletes that just want to go to the strip club. Now, I'm not knocking nobody, but if you're watching this, the message is, what are you doing behind closed doors so you could be great in the light?
Ooh,
or what are you doing behind closed doors that's showing the reason why you are not who you are? And that's what happened to me. So my story, to get to that, is that I came from a small town called Henderson, North Carolina.
Wait. What did the girl say?
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah.
What did she say?
So no, she was like, she sat back, she was like, okay. Yeah, okay, that's nice. Oh, she said one thing, because I had this, that's when I first came up with Pain is Power.
Okay.
So I had Pain is Power, but I had like this, not it wasn't glitter, but it was like sparkly a little bit, like just to let it shine out.
Right.
She said, it was good, but don't you ever wear that shirt again. I said, all right, I'll take that.
She said, don't.
I'll take that.
I'll take that.
And what did Eric Thomas say?
He wasn't there at that moment.
Okay,
but
okay.
CJ and them was there. You
All
know
right.
what I'm saying?
Okay,
Carl
cool.
was there.
That's what's up.
But the next one I seen him, and normally it's every 3 months you go there to speak in person. The average speaker probably get certified after the 3rd meetup. Like,
Okay.
like some people, I seen one guy, took him like almost 2 years to get certified, right?
Wow.
So I go back for the 2nd time. Same thing all over again. Everybody come on stage. David Power Talk, come up.
Right.
At the end of the day, I get certified.
Wow.
I got certified as a speaker on my 2nd meetup. Wow. And my partner that brought me in, it was his 4th time there. He just got certified at the same time.
That's
Not
crazy.
knocking him,
Mhm.
Right, but
but that was
right.
God telling me, brother, you got the oil on you.
Yeah,
Mm,
100%.
I didn't name you David Solomon for no reason. 2 great kings.
mm,
Mhm.
I didn't put you through all of that
mhm.
not to be one of the most powerful motivational speakers in the world. But you got some work to do, kid, because you still ain't there yet. See, people think they arrived. I haven't arrived yet. I'm just getting started. And this past year, 2023, really opened my eyes to a lot of things in life.
Mm.
So, yeah, so and shout out to that coach. I don't want to name no names. She might see this episode, but you know, I people got to be coachable,
Mhm.
and you got to take your emotions out of conversation sometimes.
Mm. Talk about that.
A lot of us, we react before we even think or digest what was just said to us.
Mm.
And we are quick to just snap, not realizing maybe it's a learning moment.
Mhm.
Or maybe God don't want you to jump out of character so you can humble that person that's trying to pull you out of character.
Mm.
Because I could have easily got back on the Zoom like, let the
Mhm.
Newark come out. You know?
Yeah.
Who you talking to? I've been getting paid already. But
Yeah.
you got people that do that.
Mhm.
I took it. I took their pie in the face.
Mhm.
I said, no problem. I said, what you want me to do? Okay, I'll do it.
Mhm.
I went back to the lab and I did it. And that's the reason why, if you notice, every time you hear me speak, I always hit them with a pain point in my first framework. And I'm talking about framework as a speaker, but your first framework, they got to be something to catch the audience attention right then and there. You got to be like, oh, okay, I see why you're here.
Mm.
I want to know more. If they don't want to know more, they're not gonna be fully tapped in. So that was the beginning of
Right.
David Power Talk.
Talk
The
about
straw that broke the camel's back.
yeah. Talk about that time leaving that high school for the first time. You said that was your first time ever speaking in front of a crowd.
Right, like that.
Like, what was going through your mind leaving that school, driving
I
home?
was deflated.
Hmm.
I felt like when you play ball, you have a bad game, you want to get back out there and play again.
Mhm.
Like, no, let's run that back.
Yeah.
I immediately want to run it back.
Mm.
Okay.
And so as a sidebar, so I immediately wanted to run it back. So then my school that I actually my middle school that I came from, they found out I was speaking in Newark and they brought me in to come and speak like maybe a couple months later. Man.
Killed it.
No, I don't think you understand.
I could only imagine.
I was I literally was like, I got framework. Like I'm sitting there, this, that, boop, boop, boop. I'm like, yep, okay. And that's what I want to tell anybody that a speaker, whatever you want to do in life, your preparation is everything.
Mm.
If you don't prepare, it's going to show up. So I told myself, I'm preparing. And when you are so prepared, you come in with so much confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew now how to engage with kids. Kids are the hardest people to motivate.
Yeah.
Because they don't know they need the motivation. They don't want to hear the story about money. They don't want to hear the story about how big your house is. I mean, they want to know a little bit how you might have got here, but some of them are going back home and their dad ain't there, their mom ain't there, they live with their grandmother, or they ain't got no TV in their room. Like they just the same pair of sneakers all year round. They ain't got no choice but to go out there and hustle, do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to hear that. Like, nigga, like I need money now. Like I don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So
how do you change that? Well, not change the mindset, because they're still, after they listen to you,
right,
they're still influenced. Like
they
2
are.
days later, it's
They are. And it's difficult because, and that's why I really hone in on this one message when I go to the school about choices, is because I always, when I speak to them, I put myself in their shoes and I let them see how I used to be them by giving them similarities of things that was in my life that may be in their life. Like I say this one thing, I say, raise your hand if your father's not in your life. And just keep your hand up. Now raise your hand if your mother's is not really in your life back home. Now raise your hand if there's somebody in your household you know that's using drugs or selling drugs? Keep your hand up. Then raise your hand if you live with your grandmother, grandfather. Okay. If you notice, guys, I put my hand up first, but I never took my hand down. Why is that? I could check off every of those boxes. So somebody in this room I can connect with. Maybe not everybody in this room, but if your dad's not around, I'm on your side. If your mom not around, I'm on your side. If somebody is on drugs or addicted to drugs that you love in your family, I'm on your side. So it's okay we have a conversation today so that way we understand that we're not a product of our choices, but we're not a product of our environment, but we're a product of our choices. Because I had to make a choice, guys. Do I play victim because daddy is not around, or daddy beat mama, or mama having an overdose? Or do I finish school? Do I go to high school? Do I get a part-time job? Do I get my degree in engineering? Do I start my own company? What choice do you think I made, guys? Let me ask you this. When you go back home, what choice you gonna make?
Powerful.
And I look them right in their face. I said, no, what choice are you gonna make? Are you gonna, because let me explain something to you. So that I go in the story, I tell them, everybody right now, I want you to write down the name of your best friend. Just write it down. Okay, good. Now, next to it, I want you to call that best friend Dwayne. They say, okay. That's my best friend when I was your age. Right here in Newark, New Jersey. My best friend. That was one of my first best friends. I said, but Dwayne used to steal cars. I was in a stolen car with Dwayne. I got out the stolen car. 3 minutes later, Dwayne hit a pole and Dwayne is dead. So God spared my life. So imagine losing your best friend also too. Imagine your mother's addicted to drugs in a rehab. Imagine you got the same name as your father, but he's not around and he's addicted to drugs. Imagine one grandmother tell you, you can't live with me no more. So now you got to live in Newark, New Jersey. And you're from a small town called Henderson, North Carolina. Trailer park, needles in the sink. People making fun of you because they know both of your parents is strung out on drugs. Your mother in ER because she got a needle stuck in her neck because they can't find the veins no more in her arm. So now she got to shoot up in her neck. So guys, when I say pain is my power, pain is really my power. And the reason why I can smile and laugh at it is because if I didn't go through what I've been through, I would not be here right now changing lives. There's a stat that says 90% of Americans are hurting right now. Mental health is at its highest. So how do we handle that? How do we deal with it? We got to talk about these things as hurting us, but we got to use these things as our new purpose in life to be better in life and not allow it to bring us down.
Wow. Let's take a pause for a minute, man. Because I already know. I knew what this episode was gonna be about. And you struck a chord with me, not only with that story, but the word or the phrase mental health.
Right.
Okay, with all of those experiences that you went through, how did you deal with it, brother? Because you're still here live and well, and you're inspiring thousands, hundreds of thousands. And you know what I'm saying? How did you deal with that? How did you deal with that mental health?
You know what's so crazy is that it started back with childhood because I never wanted people to know that my father and my mother was addicted to drugs. So like my friends at school, I would hide it. I would do certain things and I always felt like the black sheep of the family. So I found this way to just bottle it all in. And and act like everything was okay when it wasn't.
Mhm.
But I didn't know that what I was doing was unhealthy until years later. So how I dealt with it was just acting like it never happened. Like the things I seen wasn't normal. Imagine walking in the kitchen and your mother laying on the floor half naked with 4 men standing around her and she's not moving. She's in a robe, and one of the men you don't even know tell you to put ice on your own mother's chest because she's having an overdose. Or imagine walking in a trailer and your father's beating on your mother in front of you. Or imagine waking up in the middle of the night and your mother's holding on to you because your father walked in drunk and he's trying to rape your own mother. Imagine on Christmas Eve, you get a phone call on Christmas Eve and you thought you was just visiting your grandmother in Newark, but then your other grandmother in North Carolina said, you can't come back and live here no more. A little country boy now got to live in a big city. But see, I didn't understand that then, but I understand that now. I'm not her responsibility. She raised all her kids. You see? But at that time, I felt abandoned again. So when I tell you I've been through some things, and this is only a little bit of my story that I'm giving you. This is only childhood. But what happens, the childhood trauma, it catches up to you as an adult. Because as you're masking these certain things, you're never really the person that you need to be, that you can operate at a high level because you're always playing catch up. So I tell the kids, I say, what you like on your fries? Like, how many people like ketchup? Right? Right. I said, but what happens is that if you guys don't start making the right choices now, you're going to always keep putting ketchup on your fries to make it taste good.
Oh man, I think that went over a lot of people's heads just now.
Wow.
No, I'm serious.
Oh man.
Because what are you doing? You're putting a car on Instagram. You're putting a watch. You're showing some things to make your fries look good or taste good. When you don't need none of that. If you just do the right things, you don't need anything to catch up because you're already there. So I've learned in our environment, we always put things on top of what we have to make it better than what it really is instead of just dealing with the foundation of it. The foundation of where we need to be is help each other up. If I can help, like I had this incident recently, a friend of mine, I was always a friend of mine. I said, hey, let me ask you a question. Who does your graphics? Your flyers is nice. Like this is somebody that I spoke at his event. He spoke at my event. So I looked at him as like, a friend almost. He said, oh yeah, that's somebody on my team. You got to get a good team. So I'm waiting for, okay, this is the number to the guy you could use. I never got that. But you sitting on millions, you don't even want to give me the information, somebody that can do my graphics? But that's the mentality that we got.
Gatekeepers.
Why, right. Yeah. Why we can't help each other? Like I don't have an ounce of that in my soul. You ask, if I got something I can give you that I can help you out, I'm gonna help you. Like I got the text on my phone. I literally said, I sent him a screenshot of the flyer. I said, bro, this flyer is nice. I like it. Who did it? Oh, that's somebody on my team. You gotta get a good team. But I gotta add that to it. But that's how it came across. But I would never do that to somebody else. But what I said, okay, no. But what that does for me, if you was to ask me something or you ask me something, I'm like, here you go. Because I don't want you to feel like how I felt. So now when I see him, I don't have the same energy like I would have for him because I don't look at him with the same way. Because you're not for the people. See, money comes, money goes. And a lot of these mentors is out here right now. I've made, like I told you, my story, I've made all that before then, before I lost it. Before all this digital product, all this mentorship, all this, I had no coach, nothing. So that's why I know God got my back. So when you allow money to show who you really are, that means you haven't really fixed yourself yet. Money is only going to emphasize, it's only going to magnify who you are. Money don't change anything. You can give me $10 billion right now. I'm still going to go to every school that I can get to. I'm still gonna get on stage and light it up. I'm gonna tell my story.
Mm-hmm. Do you
Wow.
do you? This is a multiple kind of question. 'Cause I just feel like we're just in the crib having a conversation. Do you feel healed from your past traumas? If not, do you feel what you're doing now, inspiring people, heals you from your past traumas? And if not, did you at some point during your teenage years or during the time that you were going through these traumas, did you seek help? Did you speak to other friends or family to deal with what you were going through at the time?
Great question. I was just talking to my friend Precise about that. And I just
Shout out Precise.
Shout
shout out to Mr.
Precise.
Precise, right?
Precise. Good dude right there.
Good dude. That's my
Got
brother
a
right
lot
there.
of energy.
Yeah, that's my brother right there.
That's what's up.
Yes. Actually, I just reached out to a therapist because I had one before, but I stopped going.
Mm-hmm.
You don't fully ever get completely over it. The pain is just there. You just find a way how to use it not to break you down.
I see.
Like recently, I went to Marvin Mitchell's mother's birthday party, and they had a moment, like, you know, at a wedding, you dance with your son, they play that song,
Mm-hmm.
and it caught me off guard. I didn't know what was about to happen. So the song came on, and she said, Marvin, come up and dance with me. So she's dancing with Marvin. It was the son and daughter dance. Man, I had tears like a little baby because I never had the opportunity with my mother. I lost my mother. So I never had that. My mother never seen me on stage, never came to my wedding. Like I lost my mother in my early 20s. So a lot of the things that I accomplished, she never got opportunity. She never even met my son. So that trauma that anybody have been through or that you're going through, I understand if you say that it's still there and it's lingering. Yes, there's no pill you could take for it to wipe away, but I recommend to get a therapist and talk to somebody that's non-biased. Talk to somebody that is not your friend or not your family. Somebody that is got the right credentials to sit back and evaluate you. Mental health is everything. Like, as I started to speak more, I re-niche myself, my avatar, my niche, to really focus on mental health to when I speak to other audience. Because I know for a fact that, yeah, mindset is everything, but that mindset is tied directly into mental health.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And a lot of us struggle with it. You know how many times in the morning I don't want to get up, I don't want to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
But I got to flip that switch. And I want to answer your other part of your question. For some apparent reason, God has given me a gift where I could just flip that switch from negative to positive and jump out the door like a lion. And I don't know where it comes from.
That's yeah,
and that's hard.
Good point.
That's hard.
Good point.
That's hard.
That is very hard.
No, it's hard to just flip that switch and just be like, I don't need no Red Bull. Like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I thank him for giving me that, because I'm just giving you a small window of my, pain. But imagine now losing everything, chapter 7, almost losing your company. Imagine all these other things in life that's going on, that's happening, that you got to deal with also too. And you always was looked at as the leader. You was always like, when I was in the bike club, I was the president. When I used to ride a motorcycle, everything I ever did, I was that person. Because I know my alpha. I know who I am, right? I can't take that away from me. But however, like in the Bible said, right? Like, like they say, the quote, right? Heavy the head that wears the crown. Like King David, think about it. He was the smallest, he was the youngest. But King David, he dealt with depression. He dealt with a lot of things. But he still was anointed as the king.
Right.
Even though they thought he wasn't going to be the king. When they came to anoint King David as king, he was out in the field taking care of the sheep. They was about to try to pick one of his brothers because his brother looked like the king. His brother was built like the king, had the armor on like the king. A lot of us out there right now, you're trying to look like a king, but you're really not. See, David wasn't worrying about looking like a king. God knew that David was out his own heart. He knew that David was the one that was going to be the king. Not because he was trying to look like a king. It was in his heart. And when he went to fight Goliath, remember, he went out there with 5 stones. But the first stone did what? It knocked him out. But the other 4 stones was for what? Was for Goliath's brothers or cousins. Because King David already knew, he was confident that he was going to defeat Goliath, but he had the 4 stones just in case some more trouble came. A lot of us are not prepared for the other trouble. We just got that one little, we not prepared. What else could happen? And if something else could happen, I'm prepared for it. And that's how I look at life. Like, you know what? Yeah, I know I'm gonna knock out this target, but something else could happen. Mm-hmm. So let me prepare just in case. And that's why I talk about the 5 stones. Because David knew he had to prepare for other things that could happen. Mm-hmm. But one thing you got to take from King David, he was confident that if it did happen, he was going to be victorious. And a lot of us got to learn to just be victorious on no matter what faces us.
So we have a lot of people, I mean, being positive alone is a challenge.
Oh my God. Jesus. My wife, she always get on me, right? Mr. Motivational Speaker, stop talking negative.
Because, I mean, let's be honest, man. Like, waking up in the morning, I'm glad you could probably attest as well. Like, we I stopped watching the news since that whole George Floyd. I was like, right. I'm done.
Right.
I don't care what. If it rains tomorrow, it rains tomorrow. I'll find out, whatever, however.
Right.
But how do you wake up in the morning, right? There are times when you feel defeated. You feel defeated, and you're like, you know what?
Lord Jesus.
I try to be grateful. I'm grateful for my bed, grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for clothes on my back, the pajamas, the shower, the water.
Yep.
The little things.
Yes.
But there are a lot of motivational speakers out here that's like, you gotta do this every day. You gotta be like this every day. Bro, the devil is working hard, man. That devil is, bro, even coming here tonight, I'm cursing.
Yes.
But I know I'm coming here for a reason, for a good reason. But at the same time, every negative thought in my mind is like, bro, I told Joe walking in here, I said, Joe, this gotta be a better way.
Right.
This is, you know what I'm saying? That's the negative. But how do you defeat that?
It's a couple things that I say to myself, right? First thing first thing I want to say is it's bigger than you. When I say it's bigger than you, I needed this conversation with you. I needed this interview. I needed to release. When he asked me about, the therapeutic session, when I get on stage and I talk about this, it's a release for me. I'm letting out. Oh, wow. Yeah, Mom, I miss you, Dad. Wow. Ooh, yep. Made that money back. Ooh, got my company back. Yep. But if you would have tapped out and you wouldn't have came here right now, I couldn't have this. I'd have been my brother, but it's better we all here together. So somebody needs you. And remember this. You woke up this morning. Whoever watching this, you woke up this morning. But somebody didn't wake up this morning. Kobe Bryant would take your spot right now and say, forget basketball if he could be right now here and go back to his wife and kids. He would say, forget basketball. Give me my life. Forget the millions. Forget the championships. Give me life. We take life for granted. And I did that almost twice. When I lost everything, in the garage, bottle of pills, water. By the end of my life, because I lost some money? Because I got embarrassed? Because I got to file Chapter 7? I thought it was over. I literally sitting there, water, pills. But that's why anybody watching this interview right now, whatever you're going through right now, your next season will be amazing. But you got to hang in there. Because somebody needs you that you haven't even met yet. And you got to be strong. First for yourself. And I had to learn to be strong for me first. Because like when the airplane, I think Jim Rohn said this. When there's turbulence, they said do what? Put your mask on what?
First.
Before you help anybody. A lot of us are helping and doing things for people, and you have not helped yourself yet. So for you to be great for this interview, you had to, man, talk to me. I'm good. Okay, great. I'm going to do what I got to do. Boom. Now you good. You can talk. But if you don't take care of yourself first, your energy going to be off. You're not gonna be the person that you need to be. You ever like maybe your girlfriend, your wife, like they got like a little attitude or something, and it throws you off because you love them so much.
Right.
Their energy throw you off,
Mhm.
and you like, what I do?
Mhm.
But you didn't do it. But it was somebody at lunchtime that pissed her off, but now you got it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We got to learn not to bring that home. Like I tell my wife all the time, when I walk in the house, don't attack me. When I say attack me, I don't want to hear about the garbage. I don't want to hear about this and that. And I seen this one quote that went viral, 30 million views. And this lady said, I had to talk to God. And I said, when my husband walked through the door, do I attack him and go into these different things? Or do I just hug him and say, baby, I love you. I'm so proud of you. I don't know what you went through today. I don't know what you were struggling with. But I just thank you for being the man you are for this house. And I just want to say I love you. We need that sometimes when we come home.
Mm-hmm.
And the women need that too.
Yeah.
What we don't need is as soon as we walk in the house, hey, what about
Right. Too much.
It's too much.
It's too much.
Too
Yeah.
much.
You haven't even downloaded what you just went through. Between traffic, between clients, between emails, between texts. And then when you walk home, you gotta.
Yeah.
So now you sitting. So now you like, oh, dear Jesus.
This is a great segue. This is
Yeah.
legendary episode.
Yeah,
I'm about to take it to a whole nother. I'm about to flip it right now, right? And I want to relate this to your experiences. You're a married man. With the experiences that you had as a young man,
right?
What advice do you give to anybody in a serious relationship or in a marriage, a man, to prepare themselves mentally to be a leader, right? Because as young men, we're traumatized and we want to be natural leaders,
right?
But sometimes you think you're leading, but your wife or your partner doesn't feel that you're leading,
right?
Because of your past traumas,
right?
How do you?
How do you navigate that, bro?
I don't know the exact question, but you know what I'm trying to.
Yeah. Way my wife do see this, right? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm trying to say,
right? I got you. I'm gonna be the doghouse, right? Yeah. But I'm gonna be fully transparent with you.
Natural. How do you become a natural leader?
Right. Far as any man is watching this, before you about to get married or be serious or be that leader, you have to first dig a little bit deeper inside of you and understand what is really marriage about. Because when you're leading an army or a team, you're not just marrying LeBron. You're marrying AD. You're marrying the whole team, the fans, season tickets. That's a lot of pressure. So you have to understand that when you go into this marriage, it's the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, the brothers, the sisters. If there's any kids involved,
it's the whole package.
Past trauma that she's maybe have dealt with but never brought out to you until you finally deep into it, where you feel comfortable in telling you about certain things that you're just now hearing. So you have to say to yourself, am I ready to take all that on? And if you're not ready for it, you have to put yourself in a position that now you are ready to take on these multiple things, not just her, but what else comes with that queen when you decide to say, I do. And let me say this. Do your homework on what comes with the whole marriage bubble as a successful husband that has been through different levels of marriage. Because you got your honeymoon session where you can't keep your hands off each other. You got your don't get on my nerves session. The older, let's travel. Like there's levels to this. But a lot of times in our community, we have not seen none of that. Like I came from, like, my mother and father did get married, but then it went haywire after that, right? Drugs kicked in, stuff, it went crazy. Now, my brother Precise, his mother and father been together since he's been born. And he's the same thing. He's married to his wife, same kids. So he's that role model, but he never seen what I seen. So his perception of marriage is different compared to mine. So I would say with men, take your time, do the homework, and understand this word called responsibility. The responsibility that you're about to carry right now is heavier than you ever can imagine. And the person that you thought you was when you was single or you was a fiance, that person no longer exists. Because right now you a husband. Right now you are the leader of the household. You that person that got to talk about stuff you don't want to talk about. You got to listen to stuff you don't want to listen to. See, when you were single, you be like, okay, no problem. I'm going to call you back, right? No, you got to sit there, even if you don't want to listen to it. Oh, really, baby?
Yeah, you got to eat that.
Okay, I know. It's going to be okay. And you sitting in your mind, you got like, do you understand what I'm going through right now? But you got to understand, she needs somebody to vent to.
Right.
She needs you to listen. And I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes I get so caught up because I'm like, I got to, post content. I got to do all this. I got to put my phone down and just listen. I got to give it that attention. But it's an everyday process. And I want to say this to everybody. It's not easy. But once you make that decision, do your best to be the best version of you, so therefore she can get a better version of you.
Boss.
Because you never at a, like, it's never a perfect version of nobody, no matter what. I don't care who you are.
Exactly.
There's always work that we can do. And at that point, you got to understand, if you keep working on you, then it's going to work out.
Powerful.
Jeez.
That's
a whole nother episode.
That's a
right. That's a whole. Yeah. That's a whole.
episode.
That's a whole nother episode.
We may have to take that
right.
That's a whole nother episode.
That's right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Let's lighten it up a little bit, man. just a little bit.
Right. Just a little bit. Right.
Motivational speaker.
Right.
I mean, we've seen you on stage a couple times.
Right.
Man. I mean, you've got people like this, like mesmerized, like captivated.
Right. Gotcha.
You were talking about framework, like
gotcha.
when talk about
yes,
certain skills needed to become a motivational speaker. Talk about the framework. Talk a little bit about that.
Good. I'm glad, because I actually now I'm certified. I have my own coaching program that I teach people how to be speakers, and I always tell you must have a root message. So like when I first met you guys, you probably don't know, my root message at that time was you got to dominate, but not in order to dominate in your areas of life, you got to dominate every area of your life. So if you notice, I was talking about between childhood, between business, between family, love, health, mental health. I was talking about all these different things that we got to dominate in. And then I brought in my signature story to connect the root message that we got to dominate. So as a speaker, you all, like, for me, it depends. Let's say I think I spoke when I met you guys, spoke like 15 minutes or 10 minutes. So I break down my framework in 2 or 3 minute or 4 minute segments. So that framework, the first framework, I got to catch your attention right off the bat. I'm gonna go right in and hit you right in the heart. And that's, you probably gonna hear the story, mom's on the floor, look, then the next framework is gonna be now, and I always tell speakers, it's not always about you. If you say one thing about you, you got to say 3 things for the audience. So when I say this, it was like, I remember the time when I was about to take a bottle of pills with some water and take my life. I was about to give up. But I want to tell everybody in this audience right now, I don't care what you're going through right now, don't ever think about going up. Point 1. Keep moving forward and follow your dreams, because somebody needs you. Some of you couldn't even pay enough money to buy the VIP, so your general admission, but you're sitting here with tears in your eyes because you know you want more. I'm going to tell you to keep going. So what I just did was I gave them 4 points with my 1 pain point.
Gotcha.
You'll get a lot of speakers, they'll dump their whole life on you and don't tell you nothing. Don't give you no lessons. Don't tell me how I'm going to get through this or anything. Now, it's good. They got to know who your story, But the same token, what's the takeaway from the message? So of course, now of course, the ending. You always want to have a good ending. Never say, hey, thank you for having me. Thank you, blah, blah. No. Your ending, you got to land that plane. That's what we call it. Land that plane. So you want to develop your framework to get to that moment. It's like getting up to it to a point where everybody like, wow, that was powerful.
So this is science.
It's a science. It's a formula to it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then once you develop a certain framework around your signature story, you could take it anywhere. Like if you notice at Credit Summit, I still told my story, but I switched up the framework to match the people in the room. Because I knew I still had to tell my story, but at the same token, I'm trying to think, what was the root of my message then? I can't remember, but I always make sure that depends on who's in the audience. I switch up my framework just a little bit, but I never really deviate from using my life as their motivation, but always giving them stuff that they need to walk away from, to be more tangible and to be more positive and to move forward in life in a better direction.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So framework is important. Framework, preparation, everything. And this is important too with any motivational speaker. Learn how to tell a story. People love to hear a story. So even if you're not confident in your own story, you could tell a story in third party. Like I just watched the movie, what's the name? Galissa, what's the name from Miami?
Yes, yeah.
The drug dealer?
Yeah, big. That was big.
I recently said this. I said, right, Griselda Blanco.
Yeah, Blanco.
I said, you know what the biggest problem with a lot of us in this room? You don't got the right belief system. I watched a lady come from a different country to America that's only 5 foot tall with her sons, and she became one of the top and the biggest drug lords. And I don't condone drugs or selling drugs, but for her to do that, can you imagine her belief system? I watched her look at a cook that was serving and washing dishes to now be one of her right hands. She built a team. I watched her sit in the backyard and look at the sky when she thought she lost it, and she made a new vision. Some of you in this room right now, the reason why you're not where you at is because your vision's not big enough. I watched this young lady, her vision was so big, another drug lord said, that's the only lady that I'm afraid of. A lady, 5 foot. Not no muscles, not this, not that. There's always a better way to do something. And your perception is everything. When she had her first meeting, she rented a car from Avis to do what? To look like she was the boss.
Yep.
She told the guy to walk sturdy, put a suit on, do this. Even though he was nervous.
I mean, it was a shootout right there.
But exactly. But what I got from the movie is that her vision was so clear to her that she just knew no matter what, she was going to make this happen. If you wake up tomorrow and say, no, like my partner Precise called me today, he said, I got 2 words to say to you and then I'm going to hang up. He said, what? He said, go bigger. Go bigger. Go bigger. So anybody watching this right now, I'm telling you right now, go bigger. Whatever your dream is, go bigger. It should scare you. Whatever that number is that you want to make for this year, I need you to 10x that number. Anything is possible if you sacrifice right now. Because what's going to happen in life is this. If you don't sacrifice now, you're going to sacrifice later. And a lot of us don't understand that concept. Because we're going back, you trying to catch back up again.
I'm trying to catch back up. Wow, that's powerful, man.
Damn. All right.
I don't even know where to take this. Oh, I know where to take this. Before I ask that question, who are some of your favorite storytellers?
Ooh.
I like Fat Joe. Fat Joe's a great storyteller.
Yeah. Fat Joe. And you know what? So I know for a fact hip hop was my first motivation. How many times you listen to a Jay-Z album and you was like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
You must love me.
Yeah.
What? That's
Yeah.
my joint.
Yes, sir. Yep.
American Gangster. Like Jay-Z was so ahead of his time.
He was.
He was.
Like I still be watching that little clip where he's sitting there and he just like got a still face and like Dame Dash and Mims Bleak, they all hype, like everybody going crazy.
Yeah, he's
and he just focused.
he's
saw the vision.
focused.
Because
Yeah.
he knew where he was going. He like, I just brought Michael Jackson out on stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who thinks about that?
Yeah. No, that was big.
Like but those are the people that inspired me. Like just thinking about that. And I just said to myself, like, and people don't understand, like, for you to come from the projects and become a successful rapper and make millions of dollars, that's amazing.
It is.
But what happens, our own lifestyle takes us out. Drugs, the lifestyle, women, it just takes us out.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this all the times. Just as much as God hears your plan or he sees your vision, the devil sees it also too. He's going to put things in front of you to try to wipe you out.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if Tupac was still here right now?
Yeah, no.
Or Biggie?
Oof.
Or DMX? Imagine DMX motivated Jay-Z to even be a better performer on stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He talked about that.
he did.
Mhm.
He did.
He said he heard that
Yeah.
crowd just went crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I knew the impact was bigger than anything. That's why when I come on stage, I'm focused on impact.
Mhm.
Because you're never going to forget how it made you feel. So you get some speakers, they want to hit you with that the wordplay and go real deep into people. People don't care about none of that.
It's the impact.
They want you to make them jump out a window. When David Powell leave that stage, you ready to jump out a window.
Facts.
Oh,
And you're going to feel my energy.
Facts.
So people say, who motivated you first? Was it Eric Thomas? No, it was DMX. Like it was like Jadakiss. Like it was like I was a big hip hop fan. Like I almost was a rapper at one time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another story. But I know for a fact that our culture actually motivate us. But now you gotta be smart enough to not allow the negative things of it to bring you down.
Got you.
Because it really can.
It can. And again, like I said, like I've seen a lot of people up there, man, and they become that. They get here.
Right.
But that devil.
Think about who's still here right now.
Mm.
That really like you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And so that's why I commend anybody that has made a lot of money and still got a sense, a good mental state,
Mm-hmm.
still got a good foundation, because you never know what people are dealing with. Like
Never.
people always ragging on Kanye and all. It's like you don't know what Kanye went through when he lost his mother. Like I felt like when he lost his mother,
That's it.
Oh,
he
yeah.
just
Yeah.
it tipped over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kanye was a genius. He's still a genius, but when he was like he was just man. But that's a whole other conversation.
that's a whole-
Yeah.
But that definitely.
And I'm not
that's what
condoning
sparked it.
anything he's doing right now.
No,
but what
yeah,
I'm saying
but
is
it
that
hurt. It
that's
hurt.
what
It
sparked
hurt.
it.
You
right,
can tell. You can tell.
like trauma
The
takes
trauma,
people off the deep
trauma.
end sometimes.
Right.
People don't know how to deal with it.
No.
They don't.
No.
How
Let me-
important with?
Mhm.
Oh, go ahead, Rob.
No, I was just gonna say real quick. There are people out there that want to become motivational speakers, but they feel. How do you talk to someone because they feel that their story is not deep enough, or they didn't go through the trauma?
Right.
Like,
Ooh, that's a good question.
you know what I'm saying? How do you?
Great. I feel like everybody got a story. Even the story of you deciding to do a podcast is something that's a bestseller and something that can bring millions of people in the room to just hear the mindset of say, do you understand what it means to have a vision, to brand yourself, to find a location, to put a team together? We could break that down on so many different layers.
Mm-hmm.
Even people that came from a perfect household and decided to be a doctor. Do you understand what I had to go through to be able to become a doctor? Do you understand, what type of GPA I had to keep? Like there's so many layers of your life that people need to hear. Because in my speaker program, you have speakers that's only focused on talking about real estate, women development, right? Single mothers, men, like athletes. It's everybody. There is somebody out there for everybody. There's 8 billion people in the world. I'm not for everybody. I'm just not.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. Like I know I'm a good speaker, but there's rooms that people don't want to book me because they don't. I'm not the audience that the audience don't need me.
Mhm.
They might need Michelle that focus on single mothers and help single mothers to be stronger because of what Michelle been through.
Mhm.
Or you might be at a podcast summit and they need to understand what it looks like
Mhm.
to look like us, to be like us, to have this, to interview us. See how that is?
Mhm.
And so, yes, I tell everybody, don't worry about, you don't gotta have a David Powell talk pain story. Trust me. You got your own story. Whatever it is, it could be you just struggling with losing weight, health issues.
Right.
Everybody just needs something. Like I got one girl on my program, she went through a bad divorce. So now her platform is called Color Your Emotions. Because when she went through her divorce, she had to find a way to color her emotions. Because they was all dark.
That's powerful.
No, you don't understand. You know how many women emotions are dark right now? Because they went through a divorce. But now you got a platform called Color Your Emotions, and you're talking to women that's going through a divorce or been through a divorce that's in a dark place. So if you're in a dark place right now, I'm going to put you around some colors, purple, yellow, red. I'm going to help you color your emotions. So my name is Heather. I help women to color their emotions. I'm going to pull you from the dark space to that light space, and I'm going to show you that you're a butterfly. That's it.
Powerful, man.
And I coach people on how to do that.
That's amazing.
Everybody got a story.
You just help them compact.
Just help them develop it and put it out there. But I'm gonna tell you what the problem is, and it's just, this is my biggest pet peeve. People don't want to do the work.
You find that a lot.
Oh my God, I see people come across me so much. They got so much potential. Then I go to because I teach content too. They're not posting. They're not even calling schools to go there and volunteer. They're not writing their ebooks. They're not doing this. And I had like, and it's just like, oh, well, I got to find a way. No, you can make a way. Like they called me, one of my truck, the brakes went out. So I immediately took it to the dealer. The guy called me, he said, yeah, it's gonna be about $4,000 to change your brakes. I said, $4,000? Yeah, you need pads, you need rotors, you need caliper, you need everything. I'm like, okay, no problem. I had no choice. I had no brakes. A lot of us right now, we don't look at life that way. Imagine you ain't had no brakes. You will find a way to get them fixed, right? So all she got to do is anybody that, whatever your dream is, just say, I ain't got no brakes. I got to do this. Or I can't drive. I can't get to point A if I don't fix my brakes.
Yeah. Facts.
So it's not important enough to you for some reason. That's it. So I use that same analogy to say, you know what? This is going to be one of my best years ever. I promise you. Like I just got a different type of energy this year. Because last year, I'm gonna tell this quick little small story. Because as an entrepreneur, I say this a lot. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. One day you up. Next day you down. You don't know what happened. Lose a contract, somebody don't pay you. Like I was in the middle of a rough season when I met you guys. No, I was in a rough season.
I wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, we didn't.
We wouldn't know
So imagine this, Storm Lever. Shout out to Storm Lever. Hope you watching this episode, King. I flew from Atlanta that morning to New York to speak for Storm. And the way we work, we don't charge each other to speak. It's just we just celebrate each other.
Right.
We share stages. But I was really in a rough season. Like I lost a couple contracts. I'm like my wife. Like I think you need. I'm like no. I practice what I preach. I'm gonna keep going. So after I spoke, I live in Jersey. I spoke in New York. I caught the subway to the bus because I didn't want to pay $80 for an Uber. After I just spoke at a millionaire real estate conference.
employed million.
Oh my God.
No, you didn't hear me.
I
hopped on the subway, then the bus. It took me 2 hours to get home. when I was at Storm Leroy event. And then I had to get up. Then he called me the next day. He said, I want you to do the same thing at every time you go. Every time I go speak, I'm going to put you on my tour. And the tour is called the Unemployed Millionaire Tour. And I'm in the middle of a rough season. And I said yes without blinking, not knowing how I was going to make it happen. I still bought the flights. I still did the hotel. I still blazed every stage. Even when life was lifing. But towards the end of the year, God did. God did. Now, like even today, this what one of my clients gave me today.
Jesus Christ.
So imagine when I met you.
I don't even want to look at it, bro. Put it back in your pocket.
When I met you, and what's the date on that? No, this ain't gonna be no cat. What's the date on it? Hold on, make sure because I don't want people watching like, yeah, that's some. What's the date on that?
That's 131.
And I'm not saying this to show off. What I'm saying to you, whatever you're going through right now is temporary. So I got on all these stages. I'm going down to Philly. I'm going to Atlanta. I got my own event. I'm doing all these things. And I'm in the middle of my own season. And me and Storm, we had a Wall Street Trapper event. We sit front row. Wall Street Trapper talking about stocks. And Storm Leroy go, yeah, let me look at my portfolio. He just casually doing this. He's not doing this to show it off. Mm-hmm. I love my brother. Mm-hmm. The number he showed me, and I'm sitting, imagine somebody show you a number and you said, I want to be like, yo, bro, let me get like a 200 real quick, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me get 200 real quick.
Yeah. Let me hold something.
Yeah. Hold something. Real quick. Let me see something.
Yeah.
But when you hold in there and God see what you're doing, you just one phone call away. And then another phone call. Then I had my mastermind. Boom, had this, had that. I own 2 other companies. Things start going right. That's it. Just like that.
Wow.
You can have a 7-figure month or 90 days if you just lock in. And that's a true story. My wife is like, yeah, I don't believe him. Like, yeah. So Storm, you watching this podcast right now, King? I sacrificed a lot for you because I love you.
Wow.
I felt your friendship, brother. You don't know what I was going through, but I still showed up for you. I still showed up. Remember that.
That's deep.
How are you going big of 2024 and beyond?
I'm 10X in everything right now. I just signed back up with my other mentor, Neo Maya Davis.
Shout out to Neo, man.
Shout out to Neo, right?
Neo.
Woo, that dude right
I stood
there.
up in front of everybody. I said, listen, the next 90 days, I'm about making $500K. Just in 90 days, I'm going to make $500K. If you don't put it out there, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to say I'm going to make $2,000. Be like, why? No. So then no lie, I'm sitting here today eating a chicken sandwich at Top's Diner, and I'm writing down literally my 7-figure plan in the next 90 days. I said, this was going to come from my community, from speaking, my mastermind. This is my plan. This is what I got to do. I'm writing it down, and this guy's brothers are sitting here. I guess he eavesdropping, looking a little bit. He said, brother, let me ask you, what do you do, man? 'Cause I was kind of looking at your notes over there, and you got some big plans going over there, brother. But I went into it. He was like, wow. Think about this. I got a speaker program. I charge $10,000. If I sign up 10 people, that's $100K. I just went to my mentor event, Neo, signed back up. I ended up signing up 4 people to be a part of my speaker program to show them their gift. So what I'm saying to you, don't be afraid of what the unknown is. I didn't know when I was going to go there that I was going to be able to even make those transactions. But I didn't go there looking for a transaction. God gave it to me. So when you chase money, it's not going to come. I didn't go down there chasing money. I was chasing an opportunity that I could be better in whatever I'm doing. So that's just like when Cat Williams said on, what's the name, Couch? He had no idea the interview was going to be that crazy. He knew it was going to be kind of good.
Yeah. Not that crazy.
Not that crazy.
Not that crazy.
But the amount of money that YouTube and his sponsors paid him,
Mm-hmm. Nah, it's crazy. That's crazy.
even with me, like my phone is over there. So I'm heavy on content now.
Mm-hmm.
So now TikTok is paying me to put out content. So now I showed my brother Precise, I sent him a screenshot of what my videos are doing. He was like, what? So God is showing me, he said, brother, I got you on the right path.
Wow.
You just got to hang in there.
You're speechless, bro. Speechless.
I knew this was gonna be a legendary.
Yeah. This is definitely.
I'm not gonna be here and give you no fluff.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally. Like, I mean, if I could just tell you the intricate details of the things that I had to pull together to make life happen sometimes, that people be like, wow. And I don't even tell my wife most of the stuff I go through.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens is this. The reason why we fail a lot of things is we don't have the right coaches or mentors in our life to tell us this is the proper way to do things.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that, man. Your thoughts on mentorship.
Oh man, mentorship is necessary. That's the reason why I signed back up with Neo. Like my wife, she probably should watch this now. I spoke there too, but I signed back up because I needed that environment.
Mm-hmm.
And look what happened. I signed back up, and the people that signed up for my program, they paid for my mentorship with him. So I didn't lose no money. I made money.
You made money.
But I wasn't going out there with that attention. So God is going to find. I prayed on it. I said, man, am I going to drop this bag real quick? I said, man, go ahead, brother. Bet on you. Anybody watching this right now, bet on you. I bet it on me. I know my value. I know my worth. That's why I put a video out. I said, door closed. Anybody that don't know my value, anybody don't know what I bring to the table, I don't need you in my life. Like when I spoke at Path Prosperity, I knew what I was going to bring to that stage. I knew I was going to light it up. So if you can't look at me and say, you know what, I need to invest in that brother right there. That brother right there, he going places. You're not going to meet another David Power Talk in a lifetime. I'm just getting started. So can you imagine where I'm going to be in 10 years? But you decided to get your lip poked out. Well, I ain't messing with David Power Talk. All right, deuces. Because I'm going to see you at the top, King. And I'm not saying that in a manner of negativity. I'm saying that because there's somebody watching this video right now. Somebody don't know your value. They don't know what you bring to the table. And don't worry about it. You move on. You just lock and load on what you can do. Don't worry about nobody not supporting you. God sees you. You see what you're doing in the dark, and He's going to make sure you shine in the light.
Powerful, man. I think we're going to end it at that. That was...
Yeah, my bad.
No, it's not.
I didn't mean to go, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's not even that. It's just...
It's
just like the way you capped it off right there. It's just...
Right.
Kill it.
You just dropped the mic.
That was a drop mic right there. That's what. That's what.
Appreciate it.
Nah, that was dope. That was dope. Nah, you definitely.
Wow.
That's you got that.
We appreciate this. There'll be many more. I just feel like you're part of like our graduating class. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of people doing things within the culture and financial literacy, motivational speaking, all of that stuff. And we're blessed to have met you and definitely be working with you in some capacity down the future.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have you guys at my event, man. I'm honored, to even be here with you guys. Like God don't make no mistakes. Even the timing of this interview is perfect for all of us. Just the mere fact on a journey that I'm going and we're going right now. So like I told you before, chop up these podcasts, them little 30, 40-second clips, give them little snippets of it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Next thing you know, millions of views. That's it. Keep pushing. Build a team of snipers, of Navy SEALs. If there are people on your team that's not snipers or Navy SEALs, cut them right now. Quick to hire. Be patient. Be patient on hiring the right people, but be quick to fire. Like I learned that the hard way because I got a big heart. I try to keep you around. Yeah. So right now, I'm really building a Navy SEAL team, man. So I appreciate the opportunity, guys.
Hey, anytime, man. Let people know where they can find you just in case they don't know.
Right. Just in case you don't know, right? David Power Talk, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, website. Everything is David Power Talk. I teach people also too when you come out as a speaker, brand yourself. It should be easy to find you based on your name, right? So yes, you can find me on all social media platforms at David Power Talk.
You got the name, the colors is red and white.
Yes.
Brandon. And I don't know if you guys paid attention to him speaking, but I didn't hear one. I don't know, maybe one or two, but not more than two.
You know,
one.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah,
you know,
I didn't hear one Joe, did you hear a I didn't. I mean, you know, I didn't.
Confident.
I tell my speakers this all the time. If you are confident in your story, if you are tapped into your pain when you speak on stage, there is no well, let me think. No. You locked in. Either you're going to shoot the shot or you not.
Hey.
Bro, it's 2024, 2030. Where do you see yourself?
2030. What's that like? How many years is that?
16?
6
years.
6 years.
Oh, 6 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Living in Florida. Because we're going to be in Atlanta for a couple years. Living in Florida. You're going to be able to go to Google and put in top motivational speakers of the world. My name is coming up.
I believe it.
That. I believe it.
I'm going to be I'm going to be over 2, 3 million, 4 million followers on all platforms.
I see it already.
YouTube channel going to be monetized.
Mm-hmm.
Book going to be out. Biggest tour. My speaking engagement fee going to be over $100K. That's it. And I'm still going to do real estate just a little bit, but this is the only thing I'm going to be doing. It's just this. That's it. That's it.
Nah, that's powerful, bro.
We're going to run back this clip too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few.
Yeah.
We're going to run
Right.
it back.
I love
A few
it.
times.
Accountability. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's
Nah,
go. Let's get it.
definitely.
Man. Hey, Rob, housekeeping items, man.
Yo, I'm speechless right now, but housekeeping items. Thank you. Yes, Team Sock Passe on all platforms. Team Sock Passe on YouTube. Team Sock Passe. Remember, you got to subscribe. Subscribe. And it is powerful. We have a lot of powerful people coming on here, man. Yeah, remember, Team Sock Passe. Thank you to our sponsors, Roots of Brooklyn. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. 100 Suite 100. We thank you so much. Thank you, Joe, as well.
Joe, how long
appreciate
was that?
you.
How
Happy
long
New
was
Year.
it? Hour and a half?
Hour
Hour
and
and
17
17.
Not too bad.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I know
Appreciate
we could
it.
have kept going.
Yeah, we could have. We could have been all
But
day.
Yeah. Nah. But we thank you
I
so
love
much.
it, man. Y'all just
Yo,
gave
David
me like
Power Talk. I think, to be honest, bro, like from day one when I saw you on stage at Storm Leroy, what'd I tell you, Glad?
We got to get him on.
You gotta get him on. And I said, bro, yo, they wanted me on the cameras and all. I said, yo, not right now.
right.
I need to focus. This dude right here.
I appreciate it.
Easy, put some chills, bro.
Yeah.
And you're a testimony. All of that stuff you was talking about is a test right now, bro.
Yeah.
You're in that moment, and we appreciate you. Whatever we can do to help, we got you on the content, whatever, bro. You can come back on the platform,
Yeah, just
and
let
I'm
us know.
talking too much. Glad take over.
Hey, that's it, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. Everybody just been inspired. We'll catch you on the next one. Team Sock Passe, we out.
LS Cream, the perfect blend of spices and tradition inspired by Haitian cremas. Please drink responsibly.